So last night I saw the franchise and I have thoughts. This is a show from Armando Iannucci, who is the creator of Veep. He's the writer director of The Death of Stalin and In the Loop. He is an Emmy Academy Award nominee writer. I think I have such respect for him. I do. Like, he's like Aaron Sorkin level for me. So going into this, and it was going to satirize superhero movies, I was super into it. The series basically follows Daniel. He's an assistant director on a fictional superhero franchise, and they're halfway through the shoot, and he's basically kind of going through and figuring out how to meet the artistic vision of the director, all the wild things he has to do with the cast, and somehow try to meddle with the studio. He's trying to figure out how to get all these people to work in perfect harmony. And the show basically is, can we have artistic vision in a world where there's 5 more movies that need to come before you can have your artistic vision. This is such a great thing to satirize right now. Superhero fatigue is real, and especially for someone like Armando. But then we started getting teasers, and then I started to think, does he actually care about the superhero genre to satirize it? I think it was Bill Hader that said you can't satirize something without having at least an interest in it, or like some kind of fascination about it, or a love for it. Like, you can't satirize something without having one or all of those things. And Armando is one of those people that isn't so gung-ho in the MCU. I don't think Sam Mendes is either, and he's a director of the pilot and an executive producer on all the episodes. And that kind of scared me because we've had so many like anti-superhero jokes to the point where it's kind of exhausting. And I was like, do I really want to see something that is not giving them any slack? So then it came to me watching it, and it's more or less the same of what I feared. They're not going super hard into it. They never focus on how people love these movies, how little kids love these movies, and how they love the comics, and how they grow up, and how like people love these movies, obviously, to make a cinematic universe out of it. The episode basically starts off, we're just like kind of like going through this one shot of Daniel, the AD, basically like going through all the issues with what the actor's dealing with. The director is like worried about, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish all this today. The studio head might be coming in. Like, there's a lot of issues that we're dealing with, but we're not given any context into what kind of movie is this? What kind of like character are we doing? Like, is this like a Avengers thing, or is this like, I don't know, like a Guardians thing? And I feel like that is an important thing to consider. We're basically just have no context as to like what kind of movie are we making? What kind of thing specifically are we satirizing? Because we could be making fun of Justice League Joss Whedon cut, or we could be making fun of Daredevil. The character is called Techno, and he basically has a invisible like jackhammer. Like, he goes like this. He has an invisible jackhammer that causes earthquakes, and he looks absolutely ridiculous. Like, look, like, he looks absolutely ridiculous. He looks dumb as crap, and it feels like a hat on a hat almost. Just make him a Superman. Just make him a Superman kind of like character. Like, it feels so weird because like there are a few good one-liners. It kind of just falls flat for me. And I'm still gonna watch the series, but like I hope it picks up. And maybe it is because of the director. Armando, one thing I love is this like shaky cam feeling that he has. Like, everything's very like impromptu, and you're like just getting in on the action. This show, like, it is just kind of like a standard feat of like a pilot. Like, we're not like moving like super chaotic. Like, there's nothing like ambitious about this pilot as it stands on a visual standpoint. It is honestly kind of weak, and if we're getting into the story and structure, the episode kind of goes nowhere. Like, we're following our AD, right? We have no idea like where he is in a mental state, really. We see that his ex is going to be working on the film as a producer. We get no context as to what their full relationship is. We don't even like, they barely even talk to each other. Like, they seem like they're on good terms, but they barely talk to each other. We have no idea if he actually like likes comic books or not. We have no idea like why he's in this business, really. That's a small little speech. We don't even see him problem solve. Like, there's 2 main problems in this show that happen. One is that all the background characters are like these like fish people, right? They're the aliens of the planet that this techno person is arriving on. They had to be cut from the film because in the film prior to that, they had to kill all the people in like a mass genocide. The Kevin Feige guy is like, hey, in so-and-so's movie, we had to kill all these people, so they can't be in yours. And then also the director wanted a rig for a second son, so they made a lighting rig. It blinded both of the actors temporarily. We don't see Daniel problem solve with any of these issues. It kind of just happened. We don't see him come up with the idea. We don't see like this like chaotic energy that I would expect seeing the satirized version of Hollywood. It's honestly just a little bit boring. It just feels like it's really holding back, and that's what I was afraid of from the beginning. It's really holding back and not really knowing when to go full throttle on something and when it should maybe pull its punches and give us more context as to what exactly are we satirizing. Are we satirizing superhero movies? Are we satirizing cinematic universes? Are we satirizing the whole goddamn thing? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 stars. I am